G'day YouTube, TurboTristan here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing some work on the CU2 Accord. We're going to hopefully make this front lip fit right on there. Alright guys, it feels like forever, but it's been about two and a half weeks since my last video. The reason being, I ordered this front lip for the CU2. I got the paint, the primer, everything done. Would you believe there was no clear coat 2-pack available for weeks and weeks and weeks. Every paint store in Melbourne was sold out, so I had to wait for that to get in the spray can. I could have bought an air compressor, I could have bought a litre of clear, and I could have wasted thousands of dollars on getting that set up and painting it without a spray can, but I ain't going to do that. So I've got the lip, I've got it painted, everything's done. If you want to know more about painting, check back to the last video where I painted the lip spoiler on the back of the CU2. This one here came out awesome. That's color matched, as you can see there in the sunlight, and I did a really in-depth step-by-step on how to prepare paint and a few tips and tricks I learnt along the way. I did the same thing on this. One thing I did which I didn't do on the small spoiler was I sanded the primer down with 1000 before I put the color on, and then once the color was on and dried for a day or two, I sanded that with 2000 before I put the clear on. So because these are big panels, well, big in comparison to the rear wing spoiler on the roof, I decided to give them a bit more attention, and as you can see, the results speak for themselves. It's definitely not perfect. I did get some fluff in it. There is a couple of joins here and a little wrinkle here which is in the plastic, which I could not get rid of. I sanded and sanded for ages. Now, for those of you who are wondering, I got this lip from Elite Garage. They're a local shop in Melbourne that supply body kits made out of plastic. They're from Taiwan, I found out, so let's hope the quality's okay. It was $199, reduced from $230. I offered to make a video of install and everything and tried to get a discount, but no bueno, didn't work. So I paid the $199 advertised price, and I did something that you should never do, is I trusted the fitment of that. Overall it's pretty good quality. I have not tried it on the car. This car's been in storage for the last couple of months, so it got its first bath in a few months today. I'm going to try and do something with the number plate, get rid of that big chunker there and put the plate on a bit more flush, give it a smoother look. Over to trying to get this fitted on. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to jack up the car, take the wheels off because I'm going to need to get in behind there to fit some screws. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to look at getting this front lip on. Hopefully it fits, fingers crossed. Alright, so here goes, fitting it up. Let's see how this goes on, how close it is. It's really a two-person job. Looks like this fog light cover is in the way. Don't know if I can get that out and then push it in over the top once I've got that all glued on. Maybe. Alright, so not the best. These scratches here were already on the car when we purchased it, so hopefully that's going to hide some of that. Let's have a look at how much lower it is under the car. So it doesn't hang down too much more. It's more on the ends there. So what I'm going to do there's some brackets that came supplied here that screw in underneath this. So there's 3 brackets. I might crack out the tape and try and get those mounted in as tight as I can. And then I'm going to try and pull out these fog light covers and see what's behind there. I'm not going to lie, it's not looking good. So Elite Garage, if this doesn't work out, if it doesn't fit snug up nice, this is a PSA for everyone out there not to buy it. If it works, everyone rush out and buy it. I think it looks good. The color match is okay. You've got 2 different types of material, and you've got flat, and then you've got almost at a right angle, so it's always going to look a slightly different color. But I think on the road, and once this gets a bit dirty, you won't even notice it. Let's try and get these first couple of brackets on and see if it snugs up and if it's going to hold there by itself. That way I can then go around to the corners and then fit those pilot holes, and we'll work out what we're going to do with these fog lights in a moment. Shouldn't take too long. Alright, so I've got that hanging on there with some tape at the moment. Roughed on. Let's take a look at these brackets underneath. So we've got 3 alloy brackets here, and they're pretty good. We might snug that down with some tape, make sure it's all right from the top, and then just send it with those and screw them straight in and get that held on. Now this is going to come on and off a couple of times. I've decided what I'm going to do here is just clearance the very edge of there, because we don't want to do anything to the fog lights. They're a genuine OEM, perfectly fitting factory item, so we'll just trim the edge off there, but we'll get this all snugged up first because it's really just hanging on by a thread, or sticky tape, as you will. Now the kit did come with 7 self tappers, very generous, so we'll get 3 of those out. And for this I might give these a bit of a stretch fit. Pull it down. I think we'll start with the middle one. Two. All right, there we go. All right, so you can see along the top there, that's nice and flush now. Follows the shape nicely. So I'm happy with that. We will work our way around to the side. As you can see, that's a bit of a shit fight. I'll figure out where I want to mount that, and then I'll mark on here what needs to come out, and we'll try and get this to fit and tuck in. We don't want it sticking out too much, so get that nice and snug. One in the top, pull it under just a slight little bit, and then one in there, and then try and match that on the other side. There is actually, strangely, 2 little pilot dimples there and there for some kind of a factory body kit. Not sure if you can see that. One there and one there. There's no way I'm going to be able to see where they are, but I'm just going to have to guess, boys and girls. Alright, one. Now this sits pretty flush now. I'm going to pull it just a tiny little pinch in. That's good. And yep, I just got a wet ass sitting in the wet floor because I just washed the car. But it'll dry, it's only water. Over to the other side. let's take a look at how that looks. With the tape off. Now I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick this up, but there's a little bit of orange peel just here. For some reason, I can't explain it. Maybe there's a bit of wax and grease remover on there when I was painting. And we didn't quite cover up those already existing scratches, but not to worry. It's not a show car, it's a street car. Let's go have a look at our handiwork for now before we get on to the final fit. It's better already. Now I do need to mark out just on here. So from just there, I'm going to put a piece of tape, and then I'm going to go along that edge for a couple of millimeters, and then do the same on this side. This side looks like I might need a bit more off, but like that. Okay, so it's all masked up, just really to stop splintering, I guess, and melted hot plastic getting stuck in the paint, which is a day old. The implement that I'll be using is Overkill 9000. This is a carbide burr. This is what I use to grind out and clearance the inside of my cylinders on my engine build. So this will make very light work of this. Slowly, very gentle, but this is all I've got, so I'm going to run with it. Okay, so I've ground that back, which is what I think is enough. You'll notice just here, the sticky tape I used lifted the clear and then pulled some paint with it. I'm going to touch that up on the car. I think it'll be easy just to mask off and just give it a quick flick there. One, I don't have any paint at the moment, and two, it's just a small spot, so I'll go over that later on. Do a really good mask job. As you can see by my hands, this is after 15 minutes of scrubbing that my Sikaflex tube crapped itself. So that went absolutely everywhere. I'm not going to give you a close-up on the car because I'm really embarrassed. I just slapped it on with my hands in the places on all the corners. It wouldn't be me if I didn't stuff something up, or if something didn't fail or break or whatever, but we're going to persevere and we make do with what we've got. So let's spool up, get this on the car. I'm sure it'll look good once it's all completed. Fingers crossed. Do or do not. There is no try. Alright guys, so the lip kit is on. There's the big chunk of paint that's missing. There you can see the screws in the back. It's all fitted up. It's not going to go anywhere. I'll give it a wipe off with some wax and grease remover. There's a couple of grubby marks on it. There's my clearancing job. Still not the best. This fitment here on these corners aren't the best, but this type of thing here, this gap, is pretty standard on most body kits that I've ever seen, unless it's a factory item. It's very difficult to get these kind of mouldings to mould and fit around these types of spots here, but yeah, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It's okay, it's tolerable. But there it is on. this side as well. I think it looks good. When my missus sees that, and when she sees it doesn't quite fit properly, she's probably going to give me one of these like, So, out of 10, I'd probably rate this about a 6 to 7 because it does look good, looks better, it fits pretty well. It's not perfect. So 2 things I want to say about it is, 1, the fitment is not great, and 2, I am not a great fitter. So I don't know who's more to blame, me or the lip. You guys can decide in the comments below. Now I'm going to take off this number plate bracket, see what I can do about mounting the number plate closer, give it a little bit of a V, push it back. I am trying to track down another one of these grills, which I will remove all the chrome off and then color match it. I'll probably just leave the Honda logo in the center chrome because we still have the lights and the door handles. If I can find another set of lights, I might do a pull apart and do these in like a matte gray or matte silver or something. I don't want to do them straight black because probably be a bit too dark. All right, so the idea is to take this off. There's 2, look like 10 mils there. Yes, they are. So small socket set today. We're going to take that off, see what's behind it. My fingers are so grubby from that. The idea about doing this is just to neaten up the front, smooth it out a bit, ensure there's somewhere for the number plate to go that doesn't stick out an inch out of the front. It's little things that count. All right. All right, so what I'm going to do, I've decided after a little bit of looking, is I will mount the number plate. It'll come down around 1 centimetre. You can see that old mark there, which I'll have to polish. So bring it down 1 centimetre. I'll put a very small kink in the middle of the plate. And what I'll do now is I'll mark where these holes need to be, and then I'll drill them out. So one right under there, and then one right under there. This way it's completely reversible. I can always put this big chunker back on, but for now we'll put that on. Missus won't even notice, and it'll tidy up the look of the car. And we've still got these little rubber grommets which will stop it rubbing on the paint, which is what you want. All right, so I ended up using the original screws. Turns out they were long enough. I gave that a really quick polish. That'll need to be cut and buffed, and might even give it a sand and put some clear over it when I fix up that mischief over there. All right, from up here, looks pretty good. Number plate's tucked back nicely. Got a very, very slight bend in it. All right, let's see if we can't get the first scrape on there, shall we? Those of you that are new to the channel, I'll just run you through what the Acura CU2 Euro has now. So as far as mods go, first mod we did was we dropped a K&N panel filter in the airbox. I lowered the car with TN Luxury Master 30mm lower coils. Then I fitted a Mugen style rear roof spoiler, painted that. We've tinted the rear tail lights all red, and now today we fitted a front lip spoiler from Elite Garage. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about that. I have contacted MV Tuning over in Russia again because the fitment of their rear roof spoiler was perfect. I do want to get the little ducktail for it. that matches and side skirts, and I'm tossing up whether or not we do a rear bar from them yet or not. Maybe, you know, another 6 months down the track, because I probably want to stick some wheels on it after we do the side skirts and rear spoiler. Those of you who subscribe to me because of my turbocharged Civic project, I do have a few little bits and pieces that have arrived. I was going to do a video of installing these, but I want to wait until I pull the engine out and respray the engine bay, and you'll see why. I've been in touch with the guys at Honed. I've got a brake booster delete kit. Now here it is here. Beautiful. Comes with all the gaskets and everything you need. This was packaged the best I've ever seen anything packaged. I got excited and I ripped it all apart. So I didn't do an unboxing, but everything was bubble wrapped individually, then sealed in bags like this. And then that was bubble wrapped and then sealed in another bag. So it was totally impervious to the elements. It was perfect. It even comes with PDF instructions to download from their website. The other thing I got was a S2000 clutch master cylinder kit. So this one is from MPC Motorsport. It was also packaged really, really nicely as a whole kit. So it comes with a new clutch master cylinder, a braided line to replace that steel line, a little koozie as they're called in America, or a stubby holder as we call them in Australia. And then in here we've got the master cylinder for the S2000, which has its own reservoir on top, and then there's a little black anodized billet bracket spacer, just like the Honed one, so they'll match. And we're going to have a nice clean tidy engine bay. If I don't get any parts arrive, or if I can't go racing soon, then I'll probably will fit those for content, because it's I want to at least make a video every single week, but it's a bit difficult just because of the order that I want to do the modifications in. I also want to get to the track. Getting dyno time is really, really difficult at the moment with the lockdown. So I'm just trying to get the car on a dyno, get the car to a racetrack, see if we can't blow that up. Then we'll fit the engine that we built over there. I do have some more goodies for that, which are in. Paint the engine bay, fit all this stuff, and then strip the car out to be a full-on race car, and then maybe put some semi-slicks on there, and we're just going to keep hammering out those times and making this thing a giant killer. I've also got another idea for another project car, all-wheel drive K-Series, which was my original plan. Big news, in the next week or two, I'm going to be buying a TIG welder, so I can start TKO Fabrications, TKO Motorsport, and start to make things. Now, I'm not expecting to pick up a TIG welder and be a magician and start, laying dimes on the welder, but I am going to be filming my first attempts, my practice runs, and I'll do some welding videos of me learning, practicing. I'll bring you guys along for the journey and share what I learn. I'll be watching heaps of other YouTube channels and learning how to weld, annoying my brother who's a boilermaker, and anyone else I know that welds. I'll be ringing them all the time, learning tricks and tips. But if anyone knows any welders or any hookups for welders in Melbourne, drop me a comment below. For those of you guys asking, this is what the indicators look like with the red film on there. We're in direct sunlight, it's quite bright. They certainly work. I don't know, we might pull that off. Definitely keep that one there over the reverse, but not too sure about the indicators. Looks pretty cool. Not sure how safe it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. All right, YouTube, that brings us to the end of yet another episode of TURBOTRISTAN and the CU2 build. Hopefully we'll be getting back to some more Civic stuff soon. I just wanted to say thank you. I've got a couple more Patreons. If you're new to the channel and you want to support the channel, click on the link in the description for the Patreon and support me. We're at about 630 subscribers at the moment. I'm really trying very hard to get that up to 1,000. That's the magic number, 4 digits. YouTube will start giving me a couple of cents a month so I can keep making more videos. I think you'll agree, the car looks awesome. You know, good from afar, far from good, as they say. The fitment could be a lot better and I could be a lot better at fitting, but I think you'll agree it looks pretty tough, pretty good. Once we finish that off with some side skirts and a nice set of rims, I'm probably going to go with 19-inch. They're an 18, so just a little bit bigger, and definitely the ducktail on the boot, and we'll see what we're going to do with the rear shortly. Car needs a really good polish, so I'll do that for the missus soon. Hopefully she likes it. Hopefully she doesn't groan too much about the fitment, but I did my very best for her and I think she'll be happy enough. Looks pretty tough. Thanks again to my new Patreons. Shout out to you guys. You'll see your names at the end of the video. And everyone else, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll bring the boost in the next video.